Have you ever asked yourself why some people seem to multiply wealth effortlessly online while others chase opportunity endlessly without results? Why does one mind, calm and disciplined, extract opportunity from chaos while another, equally intelligent, burns energy in frustration and confusion? The answer is not in platforms, not in trends, not in luck. It is inside the mind. The architecture of thought, the mastery of attention, the quiet calibration of desire. The digital world amplifies everything you bring to it. If you bring chaos, it multiplies chaos. If you bring fear, it multiplies fear. But if you bring order, clarity, and disciplined persistence, the same environment rewards you disproportionately. Online earning is not merely a skill, it is a reflection of identity. It demands patience when results lag, it demands restraint when opportunities tempt distraction, it demands endurance when the world tempts you with instant gratification. Most people misunderstand earning online. They mistake excitement for progress. They chase virality, spikes, trends, and shortcuts, thinking these are the levers of success. But in truth, these are illusions. The real leverage lies in the quiet repetition of disciplined action, in building systems that operate independent of mood, in mastering the inner world before seeking mastery in the external world. The calm mind sees patterns others miss. It predicts cycles before they arrive. It positions itself where compounding works invisibly, long before results become visible. Desire must be refined. Ambition must be disciplined. The operator who builds lasting income online is not the one running on impulse, but the one who holds a vision steady through boredom, doubt, and delay. Emotional detachment is not coldness, it is precision. It is the ability to act without being hijacked by fluctuations in mood or fear. When you cultivate this, your nervous system becomes your greatest asset, and online earning becomes not a gamble, but a predictable consequence of aligned identity. The truth is uncomfortable. Most people fail not because they lack opportunity, but because they cannot sustain themselves in uncertainty. The market does not reward desperation, it rewards consistency. The algorithm does not care about emotion, it responds to behavior. The audience does not care about hype, they respond to trust, and trust is built quietly through repeated, disciplined, high-quality delivery over time. This path is not flashy. It does not promise immediate satisfaction. It asks for patience, self-mastery, and clarity. It demands that you endure boredom while others chase trends, that you maintain focus while others scatter, that you hold identity while others lose themselves in impulsive action. But the payoff is invisible at first, powerful in the long term, and almost magical when viewed through the lens of compounding. And as you step into this journey, you realize that online earning is not external, it is internal. It is a reflection of how you manage attention, how you regulate desire, how you align identity with action. Every click, every post, every system you build is amplified by your inner order. And the person capable of holding this order quietly, deliberately, and consistently is the one who transforms opportunity into predictable growing income. It begins with understanding that every tool you touch, every platform you explore, every market you enter is neutral. They do not favor effort, they do not punish failure. They simply respond to coherence, consistency, and alignment. The calm mind moves through this landscape differently. It does not chase excitement. It does not panic at dips. It does not gamble on hope. It observes, it adapts, it executes. In this way, discipline becomes leverage, and patience becomes the multiplier of results. Look around at the noise in the online economy. People are screaming for attention, posting frantically, chasing algorithms like they are some mythical beasts. They burn out, frustrated, exhausted, doubting, yet never learning that the core law is always internal. The quality of your output reflects the quality of your mind. Your nervous system, your patience, your identity, all of these determine whether effort compounds or dissipates. Without internal order, even perfect tactics fail. With it, even simple, small actions can create unstoppable momentum. Desire, unrefined, is a trap. Most people want wealth, freedom, and success, yet they want it loudly, impatiently, impulsively. This type of desire produces chaos, it creates inconsistency, it invites distraction. But refined desire, tempered by patience and aligned with vision, becomes an instrument. It does not consume you, it powers you. It allows you to channel energy precisely where it compounds. It allows you to sit through boredom, uncertainty, and delayed gratification without losing focus. The operator who builds real online income understands that results are not immediate. Income is the echo of repeated behavior, not the reward of effort alone. You will spend months creating, refining, adjusting, testing before the system responds visibly. And that is where most people fail. They expect fireworks, not slow accumulation. They quit before the compounding begins. The calm mind endures. It trusts invisible growth. It knows that the long-term trajectory is what matters, not the daily fluctuations of attention, audience, or algorithm. Emotional detachment is not the absence of care, it is the absence of chaos. It is the ability to act in alignment even when feelings scream for shortcuts or instant gratification. This skill, rare among online builders, is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary wealth. Calm operators understand they are not slaves to mood, market, or virality. They are architects of systems, engineers of compounding, conductors of leverage. You begin to see the hidden patterns, the platforms that reward patience, the audiences that reward trust, the tools that amplify systems rather than effort. While others chase trends and buzzwords, you focus on the constants: value, clarity, and consistency. You learn that speed is meaningless without strategy, that activity is meaningless without alignment, that growth is meaningless without internal stability. Most people measure success externally. They look at charts, followers, clicks, and income spikes. But calm operators measure internally. They track consistency. They measure patience. They audit focus. They examine nervous system integrity. Because in the online world, the external is simply a reflection of the internal. A chaotic mind produces chaotic results, no matter how advanced the system. A calm, disciplined mind produces systems that endure, amplify, and compound over time. You will realize quickly that online earning is never about luck. It is never about timing, shortcuts, or hype. It is about execution, alignment, and identity. The person who earns predictably is not the smartest or the fastest. They are the one whose internal state allows repeated action over months, even years, without giving up or chasing every shiny distraction. That is the invisible, unglamorous truth that separates fleeting winners from permanent ones. At this point, most minds falter because the pace is invisible. Success does not announce itself daily. The calm mind learns to value invisible accumulation. Small improvements, compounding quietly over time, create an outcome that feels almost inevitable. This is why patience, repetition, and internal clarity are not optional. They are the currency of long-term online wealth. And so the first lesson reveals itself clearly. External noise will never guide you. Market trends will never save you. Advice, tutorials, hacks, they are only amplifiers. Your internal alignment is the engine. Your discipline is the multiplier. Your calmness is the leverage. Everything else only matters because it is executed by a mind that is steady, focused, and aligned. And as you internalize this, you begin to understand that your greatest obstacle is not the market, the platform, or the competition. It is your own mind. The whispers of doubt that appear when results lag, the temptations of shortcuts that appear when effort feels tedious, the impatience that erupts when growth is slow. These are the true tests, and mastery begins the moment you no longer yield to them. The calm operator does not ignore emotion. They observe it, analyze it, and act without being controlled by it.
Fear becomes a signal, not a sentence. Desire becomes energy, not distraction. Frustration becomes feedback, not sabotage. Every feeling is acknowledged, processed, and then set aside in service of long-term alignment. This internal regulation is what produces extraordinary results over ordinary time frames. Look at those who chase online success frantically. They jump from platform to platform, from trend to trend, from guru to guru, chasing instant gratification. They burn energy, waste time, and eventually abandon systems before they can compound. The calm mind sees all of this unfolding and does not panic. It does not imitate. It does not compete for chaos. It builds quietly, deliberately, with systems designed to last. Systems, not moments, are the currency of long-term success. The calm mind creates leverage through repeatable structures, content that educates and converts, automated funnels that operate independently, offers that solve real problems consistently. These systems act
like compounding machines, turning small daily actions into massive long-term results. While others are exhausted from chasing spikes, you are positioned for inevitability. You begin to feel a subtle shift in how you approach risk. Most people mistake fear for reality. They overreact to short-term volatility, abandoning strategy in the name of safety. The calm operator understands that volatility is information, not judgment. A dip is not a catastrophe. It is a signal to observe, adjust, and continue executing. Risk becomes manageable because emotion is no longer the driver. Desire itself transforms under this framework. It is no longer about immediate reward, nor about the egoic validation of others. It is refined, disciplined, and strategic. Desire becomes a guiding force that fuels patience. It allows you to endure repetitive work, slow periods, and uncertainty without losing momentum. This kind of refined desire is rare. It separates temporary participants from permanent operators. And as you continue, you notice that your perception of time changes. While others are consumed by urgent tasks and fleeting opportunities, you are governed by strategy and rhythm. You think in months and seasons, not days and hours. Every action is filtered through the lens of long-term alignment. This perspective allows clarity to replace anxiety and patience to replace panic. The mind that reaches this level operates with a calm authority that is invisible yet unmistakable. You no longer need external validation because your internal standards are sufficient. You no longer chase hype because your vision is enough. You no longer fear failure because failure cannot destabilize a disciplined, coherent system. And this quiet authority produces results that feel effortless from the outside, though they are the product of rigorous internal mastery. You also realize that the digital landscape magnifies this principle. Platforms reward consistency. Audiences reward trust. Systems reward discipline. When your inner world is calm and aligned, every external element compounds in your favor. The internet does not create success, it amplifies it. And when you provide value consistently, the response is inevitable, quiet, and scalable. Even mistakes take on a new meaning. The calm mind does not panic when a project fails or a launch underperforms. Each misstep becomes feedback, not judgment. The emotional detachment you cultivate allows you to pivot without ego, adjust without stress, and refine without despair. Over time, mistakes are no longer setbacks. They are accelerators. They sharpen systems and fortify resilience. You begin to understand that online earning is less about making money and more about becoming the kind of person capable of generating predictable value. Skills can be learned, tactics can be copied, but the internal architecture, discipline, focus, emotional control, patience, is unique. This architecture determines whether income is fleeting or permanent. And this is where vision merges with execution. The calm operator carries a clear image of the future they are constructing: freedom, financial stability, the ability to choose without constraint. This vision does not create anxiety, it creates focus. It guides decisions subtly, consistently, and invisibly. Every microaction aligns with this broader picture, and compounding begins silently, invisibly, but powerfully. The nervous system becomes an instrument of precision. Attention is no longer scattered by distractions or desires. Energy is not wasted on reaction. The calm mind moves like a conductor directing an orchestra, every note intentional, every pause meaningful. This is the art of operating in flow, calm, deliberate, and massively effective. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, you notice a transformation. The chaos around you no longer triggers panic. Setbacks no longer induce fear. Social comparisons no longer erode confidence. You operate from a place of internal sovereignty, and external results simply reflect this inner state. Calmness, patience, and alignment have become your most powerful leverage. At this stage, most people still misunderstand what online earning truly requires. They believe in shortcuts, hacks, and viral moments. You understand that the true work is invisible, internal, and cumulative. Success is the product of repeated, focused effort guided by vision and executed with emotional neutrality. And finally, you understand the paradox. The quieter and calmer you become, the more the world responds. Your systems scale, your income grows, and your presence attracts opportunity, not because you chase it, but because you embody a state that naturally generates it. The journey of online earning is not about frantic pursuit. It is about the refinement of identity, the calibration of desire, the mastery of attention, the cultivation of patience, the construction of systems that reflect inner order. And when all these align, wealth becomes not a chase, but an inevitable reflection of who you are. The calm operator understands now that income, like life itself, is an echo of identity. Systems only work when the person running them is coherent, the nervous system steady, the mind disciplined. You realize that every morning ritual, every decision about focus, every choice about attention compounds silently into results over months and years. Online earning is not just about skill, it is about the internal architecture that sustains execution. You notice that most people fail not because they lack ideas, but because their minds are stormy. They are carried away by excitement, distracted by noise, seduced by instant gratification. Their energy is fragmented, their effort is scattered. And yet the same environments that overwhelm them reward others quietly. Those who operate with calm persistence, those who refine desire into precision, those who act daily in alignment with a vision. The psychology of compounding becomes clear. Each small, disciplined action builds invisible momentum. Each refined decision eliminates waste. Each act of emotional control multiplies leverage. And while others chase immediate reward, you understand that the long-term trajectory is what matters. Patience is not passive, it is strategic. Boredom is not punishment, it is the crucible where mastery forms. Manifestation, you begin to see, is not a mystical act, it is the natural outcome of alignment. Your internal world, your discipline, your clarity, these generate results externally. The universe does not respond to frantic desire, it responds to coherence. You build systems that mirror this principle. Content, funnels, offers, all operate as extensions of your internal alignment. When executed with precision, they scale. When executed chaotically, they collapse. Attention becomes the ultimate currency. Every distraction avoided is leverage saved. Every moment of focus compounded is a building block of long-term growth. You no longer chase trends or hype. You prioritize actions that build equity, email sequences that nurture trust, content that educates, offers that provide value, and automation that multiplies effort. This is how calm minds create sustainable online income. Desire, refined, is quiet but potent. It fuels consistent action without panic. It allows you to endure slow periods without losing motivation. It guides you towards strategic choices rather than reactive ones. Ambition, harnessed properly, becomes a river channeling effort precisely where compounding can occur. Impulse, tamed, becomes unnecessary. Chaos, avoided, becomes opportunity. You notice the difference between those who fail and those who endure. The failing mind seeks quick fixes. It chases attention, reward, and validation. It reacts to every signal with fear or hope. The enduring mind waits. It observes. It executes only what aligns. It understands the invisible patterns of markets, audience behavior, and platform mechanics, and it knows that results are a consequence, not the driver. The calm mind begins to experience time differently. It no longer rushes. It measures weeks, months, seasons. It understands cycles of attention, engagement, and energy, and positions itself strategically. Short-term noise is ignored. Long-term compounding is optimized. You see clearly how millions in revenue can grow from seemingly mundane repetition when executed with discipline and foresight. You also learn that mistakes,
Not failures, they are feedback. Every misstep in content, pricing, or marketing is information, not judgment. The calm operator pivots without ego. They analyze without despair. They adjust without emotional hijacking. And over time, this ability to convert mistakes into refinement compounds faster than raw execution alone ever could. Platforms, markets, and audiences are neutral. They amplify whatever state you bring to them. Fearful, frantic, reactive energy multiplies chaos. Calm, focused, disciplined energy multiplies leverage. This is why the operator's internal state is more valuable than tactics. Your identity is your system. Your discipline is your automation. Your patience is your compounding machine. The true psychology of online earning emerges here. What you hold internally manifests externally. Emotional mastery, patience, focus, and clarity are not optional. They are prerequisites. Without them, no algorithm, no trend, no hack, no shortcut will ever produce sustainable results. With them, even simple actions, repeated quietly, generate disproportionate wealth. You begin to see that freedom is the ultimate reward of disciplined identity. Not money itself, but the ability to operate without external pressure, to think deeply without distraction, to create without panic, to choose without compromise. Income becomes the natural reflection of this inner mastery, not the center of obsession. And in this clarity, ambition itself transforms. It is no longer frantic. It is no longer noisy. It is precise, directed, unwavering. You no longer chase trends because your vision defines your trajectory. You no longer react to noise because your internal compass is steady. You act from a state of calm dominance over yourself, which in turn translates to leverage over the systems you operate. The quietest minds build the most powerful systems. The calmest minds compound the greatest wealth. The disciplined minds endure cycles that destroy the frantic. This is the invisible law that separates fleeting success from lasting freedom. You now operate within it. And as this understanding deepens, you realize that online earning is not just a transactional pursuit. It is the cultivation of an identity capable of sustaining long-term freedom.
Money becomes a reflection of mastery, not the driver of action. Systems reflect discipline. Content reflects clarity. Funnels reflect strategic foresight. Every external result mirrors your internal state. And at the core, the calm operator understands this. Income is a byproduct of mastery, not a pursuit of ego. Attention is the true currency. Systems are the real leverage. Identity is the foundation upon which all sustainable success is built. And so you continue. You refine, you observe, you execute. You trust compounding. You maintain focus. You cultivate patience. You act with intention. You protect clarity. You honor identity. Every day, every system, every action compounds silently, invisibly, inevitably. The calm mind does not rush. It does not panic. It does not react. It acts. And in acting from this quiet, disciplined state, the impossible becomes inevitable. Opportunities that once seemed elusive now align. Systems that once felt fragile now scale. Income that once fluctuated now compounds predictably. And freedom, once a distant concept, begins to manifest tangibly. By now, you have understood that true online earning is not about chasing every trend, shortcut, or viral moment. It is about constructing a framework within which growth becomes inevitable. The calm mind recognizes patterns many visual. It sees where attention compounds. It recognizes when effort multiplies or dissipates. And most importantly, it understands that the external world will always reflect the internal state. You begin to notice how leverage works in unseen ways. Time, attention, energy, and emotion, these are the four currencies of online wealth. Most people spend them impulsively, trading energy for transient results. You invest them strategically. Hours become systems. Emotional calm becomes consistency. Focused attention becomes exponential growth. And time, once fleeting, bends to compounding when systems are maintained patiently and deliberately. Financial psychology becomes a lens through which you view all decisions. Risk is no longer feared. Loss is no longer catastrophic. Volatility becomes a tool for insight. Calm minds analyze trends without panic, pivot without ego, and execute without distraction. This mental state produces leverage that no marketing trick or algorithmic hack can replicate. Wealth, in this sense, is less a product of tactics and more a product of disciplined internal architecture. The operator's mind functions like a finely tuned instrument. Impulses are filtered, reactions are measured, attention is concentrated on high-leverage actions. Each micro-decision is aligned with a macro vision. While others chase excitement, the calm operator positions themselves to extract maximum value from the unfolding reality. And as this alignment grows, small inputs yield disproportionately large results. You also realize that patience is not passive, it is active endurance. It is the deliberate choice to execute daily, even when the rewards are invisible. It is the understanding that online income compounds like interest in a bank account. It starts imperceptibly, but grows exponentially over time. Those who quit early never witness the force of this compounding. The calm operator endures, and in that endurance lies unstoppable advantage. Desire is refined and disciplined. It no longer screams for immediate gratification. It functions as a guiding light, not a tyrant. Ambition moves quietly but relentlessly, guiding daily choices with precision. Impulse is tamed. Chaos is ignored. Focus becomes a laser that converts action into compounding growth. The mind that masters desire becomes a machine for consistent online income, producing results without unnecessary stress or noise. Mistakes, setbacks, and failures are reframed. They are feedback loops, opportunities to refine systems, improve decisions, and strengthen emotional resilience. The calm operator converts errors into acceleration, understanding that each misstep contains the seed of improved performance. While others crumble under the same pressure, you convert it into compounding advantage. Your relationship with time transforms. You no longer chase immediacy. You measure weeks, months, and seasons. Strategic positioning replaces reactive effort. Energy is not wasted on distractions. Systems are maintained and optimized. Patience, persistence, and clarity compound invisibly, producing results that outsiders perceive as sudden or miraculous, though in reality they are the natural consequence of aligned execution over time. The metaphysical law of alignment becomes inevitable. The external world amplifies internal coherence. Frantic energy produces scattered results. Calm, disciplined energy produces leverage, scale, and compounding growth. Systems you build are extensions of your identity. Funnels, content, and offers are reflections of your internal state. Discipline compounds as much as money, and emotional mastery becomes your greatest form of leverage. At this level, opportunity stops feeling random, systems stop feeling fragile, audiences stop feeling unpredictable. You begin to perceive cycles, attention cycles, and platform dynamics that others miss because they are distracted by drama and short-term excitement. You do not imitate trends, you leverage timeless principles. Systems are built to scale, not to chase. Content is designed to educate, nurture, and convert. Funnels are automated to multiply effort. Every action is measured against long-term alignment, not immediate gratification. Mistakes no longer intimidate you. They become feedback loops. Failed launches, poor conversions, misjudged timing. These are not defeats, but data. Emotional detachment allows you to extract information without self-sabotage. You pivot, refine, and improve. Over time, this ability to convert error into advantage compounds faster than any raw talent or luck ever could. You start to understand the metaphysical law underlying all success. Coherence attracts results. The state of your mind dictates the efficiency of your actions. Fear-driven, impatient, chaotic energy produces scattered outcomes. Calm, focused, disciplined energy produces leverage, scale, and compounding growth. Systems you build are extensions of your identity. Funnels, content, and offers are reflections of your internal state. Discipline compounds as much as money, and emotional mastery becomes your greatest form of leverage. Time itself transforms. You no longer live by the frantic rhythm of others. You think in weeks, months, and seasons. Strategic positioning replaces reactive effort. Energy is not wasted on distractions. Systems are maintained and optimized. Patience, persistence, and clarity compound invisibly, producing results that outsiders perceive as sudden or miraculous, though in reality they are the natural consequence of aligned execution over time.
The metaphysical law of alignment becomes undeniable. The external world amplifies internal coherence. Frantic energy produces scattered results. Calm, disciplined energy produces leverage, scale, and compounding growth. Systems you build are extensions of your identity. Funnels, content, and offers are reflections of your internal state. Discipline compounds as much as money, and emotional mastery becomes your greatest form of leverage. At this level, opportunity stops appearing random. Audiences, attention, and platforms respond predictably. You do not chase trends. You position yourself in alignment with long-term compounding principles. Systems are designed for longevity, not ephemeral spikes. Content educates. Funnels nurture. Automation multiplies effort. Every action is filtered through strategic intent. Chaos is avoided. Leverage is amplified. The quiet mind begins to perceive cycles, engagement cycles, market cycles, attention cycles. You no longer react impulsively. You act strategically, taking advantage of timing invisible to others. The calm mind is patient, observant, and deliberate. It executes when alignment is optimal. It withdraws when conditions are unfavorable.
This selective execution compounds faster than continuous reaction ever could. You realize that real wealth is not transactional. It is the reflection of mastery. Money follows identity. Systems follow discipline. Influence follows clarity. Attention follows coherence. And those who cultivate internal alignment, patience, and emotional control inevitably build not only income, but freedom, choice, and sovereignty. The paradox becomes clear. The quieter the internal work, the louder the external results. The calmer the mind, the more inevitable the compounding. While others burn themselves chasing hype, shortcuts, or external validation, your systems quietly scale. Your income grows predictably. Your influence multiplies, and your freedom becomes tangible. Not because of luck, but because internal mastery produces external leverage that cannot be ignored. Mistakes, risks, and challenges no longer destabilize you. They sharpen systems, refine strategy, and test patience. Emotional detachment allows you to respond without panic. Systems are optimized, funnels refined, content improved. And every day of disciplined action compounds invisibly, producing results that feel inevitable in hindsight, though they required patience, alignment, and focus unseen by the casual observer. You understand now that online earning is not merely a technical skill. It is a reflection of self-mastery. Attention, focus, patience, emotional control, and clarity compound into wealth more reliably than any tactic, platform, or trend. The calm operator builds systems that operate independently of mood. Results are predictable because identity and process are aligned. And in this clarity, ambition transforms. It is no longer loud, impulsive, or desperate. It becomes precise, relentless, and aligned. Each action is intentional. Each decision is strategic. Each system scales quietly and effectively. While others chase chaos, you command leverage. While others burn out, you compound. While others react, you create inevitability. By now, you have begun to understand that online earning is not about chasing luck, hype, or external validation. It is about internal mastery projected into external systems. Every click, every piece of content, every funnel you create is a reflection of your inner state. Calmness becomes leverage. Emotional discipline becomes momentum. Patience becomes compounding interest. And those who cultivate these internal qualities inevitably produce results that feel effortless to the outside world. The psychology of the master operator reveals itself in subtle ways. Fear no longer dictates choice. Impulse no longer hijacks attention. Distraction is neutralized, not through denial, but through deliberate focus. Each action is a product of clarity, not chaos. Each decision is filtered through long-term alignment, not short-term excitement. The systems you create become an extension of this internal state. You begin to notice patterns invisible to most, when audiences engage most deeply, when attention is most available, when opportunities align. These are the signals that the calm mind interprets, not frantically, but patiently. You do not act on every trend or piece of information. You act selectively, with precision, in alignment with your vision. This is the difference between fleeting income and compounding, predictable online wealth. Financial leverage is no longer a concept, but a lived reality. Systems scale independently of your effort because they are designed to do so. Funnels, content, and automation amplify calm, aligned energy. Attention multiplies impact. Patience allows compounding to take hold. Risk is measured, not feared. Every step is intentional.
the external world becomes a reflection of disciplined internal alignment. Mistakes no longer provoke panic. Failures are reframed as feedback loops, information to refine systems and strengthen identity. The calm operator does not mourn losses or chase quick fixes. They observe, adjust, and continue executing with precision. This ability to convert missteps into refinement accelerates growth exponentially. Others crumble under the same pressure. You convert it into compounding advantage. Manifestation in this framework is not mystical. It is a direct consequence of identity, alignment, and action. The universe, or the mechanisms of the digital world, responds to coherence, not desperation. When your mind is disciplined, your habits consistent, your vision clear, your systems automatically generate results. Income follows alignment. Influence follows identity. Freedom follows mastery. Desire, now refined, drives strategic action rather than reactive frenzy. Ambition is calm, precise, and unwavering. Impulse is tamed. Chaos is ignored. Every action, from the simplest email sequence to the most complex funnel, is executed in alignment with long-term goals. The operator's energy multiplies systems, attention, and results in ways invisible to others. You perceive cycles in ways others cannot. Attention cycles, engagement cycles, market cycles, and personal energy cycles all become visible when you operate from calm mastery. Timing is no longer random. Execution is deliberate. Patience becomes a strategic weapon, allowing compounding to occur in the background while others chase immediate gratification. Freedom is now tangible. Not the fleeting, superficial freedom of temporary spikes in income, but true sovereignty, control over your time, focus, and energy. You are no longer a slave to trends, external validation, or emotional impulses. Systems operate independently. Income flows predictably. Attention is leveraged. And the external world aligns to reflect the internal mastery you have cultivated. The paradox deepens. The quieter your internal work, the louder the external results. The invisible discipline, the more visible the outcome. While others burn themselves chasing hype, shortcuts, or external validation, your systems quietly harvest growth. While others react, you act strategically. While others are exhausted, you compound steadily. This is the law of calm mastery. Every day becomes a microcosm of compounding. Decisions, content, systems, emotional regulation, attention management, all accumulate silently. And with consistent alignment, what once seemed like incremental effort now produces extraordinary results. Income grows, influence amplifies, freedom solidifies, and identity strengthens in a feedback loop that compounds invisibly but powerfully. You now perceive the true power of alignment. When identity, desire, systems, and execution converge, outcomes are inevitable. Wealth is no longer a question. Growth is no longer a gamble. Freedom is no longer hypothetical. The calm mind, disciplined and aligned, has created a trajectory that is unstoppable. At this point, the operator understands a profound truth. External results are never the starting point.
They are the reflection of internal mastery. Systems, funnels, content, and strategies are magnifiers of identity, not replacements for it. The moment internal order is established, external leverage becomes a natural consequence. This is the threshold of transformation. The quiet, disciplined operator now experiences a state few ever achieve. Income is predictable. Systems scale. Mistakes refine. Desire fuels strategy. Patience compounds. Emotional mastery multiplies leverage. And the world,
once chaotic and unpredictable, now bends to the coherence and alignment you radiate. And it is here, at the peak of mastery psychology and system alignment, that the final stage approaches, the call to transformation, the ultimate demonstration of your power and discipline. This is where the calm mind acts decisively, and where the full manifestation of wealth, influence, and freedom becomes undeniable.